until I got the message from Jeff.
Oh.
I watched it such a long time ago. I watched it like 2 days after our last movie review.
But Jeff, have you eaten yet?
Wait.
Yeah, because the email said 12 hungry men.
Did it?
Well, that was the movie.
Angry Men.
No, 12 Hungry Men.
Ah.
Mhm. That's funny.
And I'm recording, and we are good to go.
No, gosh, good. We're on now.
So what's the movie?
It was 12
Angry
Angry
Men.
Men.
The original.
Okay. Hold on. Can you guys give me about an hour and a half?
For
So I can watch the movie?
Oh,
Give me an hour and a half. Give me an hour and a half.
Jeff, be funny.
Or not. Be funny.
Yeah.
What did everyone think?
Well, in Toronto, I saw the production with Richard Thomas on stage, and it was fantastic. It was really good. So I was doing a comparison between the live performance and then this one, and this one was pretty good. Pretty darn good. The Richard Thomas version was great, and I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I had thought it was something totally different. I don't know what I thought. I guess I must have thought of the most recent one, and I thought of different characters. I never saw that either, but it was good. I think the little bits of one person can change the thoughts of 11 other people was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but boy, did I ever know the premise, because it is in so many things.
Oh, yeah?
So many. All in the Family. Edith was the lone juror holding out.
Oh, yeah.
A Dick Van Dyke Show. Rob was the lone juror holding out.
I guess that's the thing to be, is the lone juror holding out. That's the
thank goodness.
top of the heap.
It was on Newhart. It was on That Girl. It was on Blue Bloods. It was on Monk. It was on Family Guy. It was on 12.5 Men. It was on Murder, She Wrote.
Was it in the 1997 version of 12.5 Men? I mean, 12 Men, 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men. Yeah,
So
I don't know.
Was it in that movie too?
I think it's the exact same premise. Like, obviously not the same actors, but the same, similar.
Yeah, the other one is, believe it or not, it was the same premise was on the Flintstones.
Really? That's interesting, Anita. I did not know that. So
I'll read what it said. The first animated homage to 12 Angry Men was Hanna-Barbera's The Flintstones. It was also TV's first primetime animated series, and in the 6th season episode, Disorder in the Court, Fred was the foreman and believes the defendant is innocent, even though in a twist on the original, it's obvious that he is guilty. Fred changes his vote when he announces a guilty verdict in court, and the defendant is called the Mangler. I think I remember the name, the Mangler.
I think when you say Mangler, it comes to my head too as something
Yeah. Maybe it was an old wrestler or something, or maybe we saw that and didn't even know it.
They didn't even relate it to something like this.
No, it's just a premise. But yeah, so it's been used many times, and there's little twists on it, like, that the guy really was guilty, and you find that out. And sometimes there's women in the jury and different things to make it just, not exactly the same, but definitely.
Women jurors?
Yeah, that was in, let me see.
Women be in juries now?
No.
Okay, so it was on,
only in Canada.
Jeff, in that one scene when at the beginning, it shows the men's washroom and the women's washroom. And I noted that. I thought that's really good, because it seemed like they almost made a point of showing that too.
But why wouldn't there have been a woman in here if they showed the women's washroom? Why would they just have men on the jury? That's sort of strange.
Yeah, just a little odd.
I
But
did.
what-
I didn't notice the other washroom, so it's good that you did, because I
Hmm,
in my
yeah.
brain it was just men doing the jury, and for some reason that was known back then as what they should be doing.
Yeah, women didn't have a chance to be on juries at one point, and I don't know when that time was in America. The That Girl episode, they had the main character, Anne Marie, convinced the jury that the person who was accused of domestic violence should be found innocent. And then later she saw him strike his spouse after the verdict. So, cheered on, make him innocent, make him innocent, make him innocent. And then she finds out that he was guilty because she saw him, slap his wife around. So that was some of the twists that, ended up being. I'm surprised it wasn't on Lucy or Bewitched or whatever.
Hey, I just looked it up and it said it wasn't until 1975 in a Supreme Court case, Taylor v. Louisiana, that the U.S. ruled juries must represent a fair cross-section of the community, ending in the opt-in system for women. I guess they started in 1920, but they really didn't.
Push it.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I had to look that up because I'm like 1957. Why
Well-
wouldn't they? But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
1975.
Wow. And especially, Jen, when they kept showing the men's washroom, like the door, when the one guy went in and then came out and they were waiting for him, I thought, this is significant. I wonder if they're going to show the women's door. And they did. Like, it was in the background, but it was there. But I thought, they're really emphasizing this. So, yeah. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no women in the To Kill a Mockingbird jury, were there?
No, I don't believe so.
No.
And there is an interesting piece of trivia about our movie this month.
What?
That I think it's the National Film Institute. The first movie is To Kill a Mockingbird, a legal movie. The second of which is 12 Angry Men.
Oh,
So, yeah,
both
the second.
legal
So
movies.
look what we've done.
Oh.
We've watched two movies back to back, and they're just at the top of the list. So
Look at
There you
us,
go.
trivia
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Accidentally trivia people. We fell
Find out
into that one.
after.
That
Well,
we fell into that.
It also got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Oh,
That
did it?
yeah, 9 out of 10 on IMDb. So yeah, there's a lot of
See, I didn't like it that much because I kept fighting with the implausibility of the 11 men all hearing what took place in the court and wanting guilty. And he didn't even say he's probably guilty, but let's look
Yeah.
into this. Let's
Mhm,
spend some time. So the fact that he's a half, he only wants to take the smart way of let's really do our job here. It's
Yeah.
not just resting on what we saw. We have to contemplate what went on and actually think about the reasonableness of certain aspects. And I don't know how realistic it was. Like, maybe it felt realistic at the time, but I can't imagine switching 11 people,
yeah.
Mhm.
flipping
Even
them.
one at a time still. I thought the plausibility too was a stretch that,
mhm.
and someone did mention it, I don't remember who, that said really his lawyer should have brought up all those. Like, it doesn't come up with the jury. The jury is supposed to be given information, not find the information themselves.
They're
Like
not
the
detectives.
time of the
Yeah.
train, the length of the train, the physics behind it.
But they are,
Uh,
because remember, his lawyer was given by the state. It wasn't somebody
Yeah,
that could
And
afford.
they did mention that he didn't do a great job.
Right.
But
And so
it's
there-
like,
there has
but for
be
him
that
to
work.
not check to see if the woman had glasses, to see whether the guy was deaf, to walk the apartment, like juries don't walk or estimate how long it is from apartment to apartment. Like, it's just,
I think
that's
they
the
do.
kind of stuff that should have been done up by the lawyers, even if he is a shitty lawyer.
Of course, it should have, but I think the jury's job is to try and find the missing pieces. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you wouldn't need a jury, and you could just have the two lawyers argue it out. The judge goes, "That makes way more sense," and then just give it to them. The jury's job is it's like a lawyer's job. They do more detective work than detectives do.
Yeah, right.
Mhm,
And they have to see both sides of it in order for them to protect their side, and from someone else, fighting their side. But if you're not given the details as a juror, you can't get those details. They have to be provided to you in court.
Unless they aren't, and then you have to go get them. Like that's, I guess, in my mind, the job. Like at least I liked when they did that, and when they said the other his lawyer was provided by the state, and he probably didn't even really want to be there.
Yeah.
So which meant he probably didn't do anything but sit beside the guy and go, no, he's probably innocent. Hey, you guys have to be careful. Don't just think everybody's guilty. Okay, I'm done. That's my defense.
Well, I think the point I liked is when he said, I think he's guilty, but not death penalty, not death sentence guilty. Like to be able to, someone had made that comment. And I believed all those switching to not guilty, except for the last one. I didn't. The guy who was the holdout
with his son.
Time.
Yeah, when he started to cry, and it was kind of like, oh,
didn't quite believe the last guy when he finally.
That was really over dramatic, I thought. And I actually thought one of the better performances too, the judge, because that was just kind of a minor role at the beginning, but he was just kind of walking through like what you do as a jury and everything else. And then he said, you have to separate the facts from the fancy. And it's just like he was just kind of walking through it. And I thought, okay, this is where it's going to lead to that. Okay, the judge is probably thinking this young man is guilty too. So I'm just going to blather on and give my instructions to the jury, and off they go. And they'll be in there 10 minutes and they're going to come back. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Now, I thought the ending was very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Where they walk out and one of the jurors along with him goes, "Hey, what's your name? And nice to then see you later." And it was over. And I went, that was a weird ending. Like, why didn't they do more? And then I asked Gemini or Grok or something and said, how come that? And he goes, that was meant to be that way. It was to show you the not the boredom. They didn't use the word boredom, but the
tediousness.
Of court. Of it isn't a wonderful
excitement
thing.
and
It doesn't wrap up like that.
You can't handle the truth.
It's just part of the process, and that whole thing is it's meant to just go. It's over, and it's not a big thing, and we no victory chance, and no, you know what I mean? It's just that's the tedium of the law.
I thought it would have finished with the plaintiff. Is that the right word?
Defendant,
like crying or sobbing on the table with his head, saying,
Relief.
"Oh, finally, I can't believe I'm free."
In the back of his head, I thought, because they didn't want to show him, so I thought they needed to show him in shadow or his voice or something. And the fact it was only the deliberation. That's the only thing that you got to.
Yeah.
And then I thought maybe there should have been a twist ending where he goes, "I got away with it."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was waiting for that too.
Well, this one must have been incredibly cheap to film, because there is the outside court scene, the inside of the hallway of the court, and the juror's room, and that's it. We didn't have flashbacks to anything. And so that was incredibly cheap to film. So it started out as they called it a teleplay, which I think it meant that he made a play, but they did it for television. So I don't know if it was in the theaters first or not, but
interesting. I thought it was pretty funny that I didn't notice when they were trying to get the fan on that it was light switch oriented, and I thought, I wonder what that means, that they weren't paying attention. Like, was that specifically put into the script to say we're not thinking deep enough, or I just wondered.
Their job is to solve the problem,
right? And so I wondered whether they put that in there.
I would think so. I would think it's like they had to solve that simple problem, and it was like almost like, oh, duh, like that was a pretty simple one to solve, and that's what they got to now do with the case. I don't remember what program it was, a movie or a TV series, and they talked about the law and why they go through and let a guy like this off, because it's without beyond a reasonable doubt is what they say. And they say, and it was put way better than I could ever do it, because I remember hearing it going, oh, that makes so much sense. That encapsulate the reason so much. And it was just that it's better to let 10 people go free, even if they're guilty, than to let somebody who's not guilty go to prison for it. So you have to err on the side of letting them go, because the chance of, imagine not doing it and going to jail for it, like that's a horrendous, that's more horrendous than the letting somebody off the hook who did it. That's not good. But they could have almost learned a bit of a lesson already, you know what I mean, by going to court and the money it costs and being fearful of going to jail. But letting them off the hook is a better thing to do. But then how many people go to jail and they never did it? So
yeah, I can think of a few right now. Yeah.
So it's such it shows how you really got to let people go unless you are, to me, even beyond.
Yeah, beyond a shadow. Yeah, for sure.
I don't understand why with the death penalty, they don't have it that if you admit to it, then you can have the death penalty. And some people want to die. You know what I mean? Some people go, I don't want to be in there for 60 years. Go ahead and do it. Because if you don't admit to it ever, you're never really sure. You know what I mean? Even witnesses are like it's the worst kind of evidence nowadays. They say witnesses, DNA is reasonable evidence and witness is terrible evidence, because people get it wrong so often.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, like lineups or something. They get a feeling and they're like, oh, it was dark, but pretty sure, and it's the wrong color, the wrong gender, or the wrong hair, or whatever.
Wrong everything, yeah.
But so many things wrong.
But I like the point about the glasses not having marked up the nose. That was a little thing. I liked how.
I never would have thought of that.
too.
That was smart.
That was a good one. I liked how when he was pacing out, he was whistling the tune to the Stan and Laurel and Hardy. That was their theme song, and it's like all these little things that you saw. I didn't know that, so that was
because I
interesting.
couldn't place it. I was wrapping my brain around. I thought, where have I heard that before?
Yeah,
No way, I never
the
even
part-
caught that.
The part I didn't like is when they're all sweating hot, and they're all wearing jackets. It's like, please take off your jackets.
I know, like 3 of them were wearing jackets, and I'm like, oh, I could imagine the pit stains on you. Take that thing off.
I know.
But also, they all had their ties up. Only 2 people didn't have a tie on. The other 10 had ties done right up and not even loosened.
Yep.
And I'm going, what are you doing?
Yep.
There's no air conditioning. You have a bloody fan.
No, I can only imagine the humidity in that room. And then the rain started, and then they had to close the windows. I'm like, oh, they probably all wanted, and I'm sure that led to whatever with them going, we need to finish. He's guilty because it's too hot. We have a baseball game. Now it's raining. It's too hot. Let's just say he's guilty.
Shows you how whiny we are now. That
We are so white.
it's 83 degrees and we cut school for the students. You know what I mean? It might be a little too hot for them at recess. Stay home.
That's right.
Oh.
But yeah, I saw a little bit of the new one. It had Tony Danza in it, and I don't know whether it was one of his. He was made for TV, but I saw him and they were all sweating, and I thought, I'm just gonna watch a little bit of it and see it. And it looked like the same premise with just men again, and they're all sweaty in a closed room. And I thought, oh, they needed to have that New York, Brooklyn accent, right?
Yeah.
So was that movie set in the 50s or is it set in the 90s?
It was the one set in the 90s.
No, so set in the 90s. I knew it was made in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
but I
what was
didn't watch. I just watched of when they were entering into the jury room, and I wanted to see who the actors were and what role that they would be.
In the 90s, if there would have been too hot, they would have, because the air conditioner broke, it would have had to have been the explanation, because you would never send a jury to a place that is just overheating.
No.
They would have said, oh, our air conditioner broke, so you're going to, but then they would have moved the jury somewhere else, or they would have canceled the jury. Like, that's how soft we are today.
Yeah.
We wouldn't continue on in that situation. And they just went, obviously we continue on in this situation. The heat wasn't going to stop them. The baseball game was.
Yeah, I never did. Now I do. Now I do want to go watch it to see how they changed that because
Yeah.
I mean the L train would be the same because the L train in New York has always been there since the 50s for sure. But yeah, why is the air conditioning's not working in the 90s? Like, I'll see what they do.
I think my favorite thing that happened though of the whole movie is when they're going back and forth with some of the evidence and Henry Fonda, they're talking about the knife and how available it is, and he takes the knife out and he looks it on the table, and it's like that's so like dramatic and perfect. It was just I loved that moment. It's
what juror is allowed to bring a switchblade into the jury room?
Yeah, and I know the one said, "Where'd you get that?"
And it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, is he a plant?
Yeah.
For a little while, I'm like, is he trying to do this on purpose? Does he know the guy? Yeah,
I know when I saw the performance in Toronto, I think it was at the Princess of Wales Theatre. I didn't know the story that well, but for me, it was like, I'm watching John Boy. I'm in the same theater as John Boy. And that was in my head. And I'm like, Stacey, focus on the plot here. Yes, you're not in an episode of The Waltons. Come on.
I saw a dinner theater once in Oakville, and Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company was in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never talked to her or anything, but in my head it was, I'm in royalty. It's in the building.
exactly. Like,
Yeah, a lot of those stars that like weren't A-listers or anything, they did a lot of, Stage West and they made the rounds, and there's just been, Don Knotts was, I think made it to Hamilton. There's a Jamie Farr from MASH, like that, those kind of people just end up in Hamilton every once in a while. So that's
I did see an off Broadway with Matthew Broderick in New York, and it was an off Broadway where it was like $20 a seat, and it was one of those whodunit ones, and I loved it. I'm like, Matthew Broderick doing a off Broadway it was interesting.
Yeah, there's nothing like though the play experience when it's a good one. It's just breathtaking.
It is. Yeah.
I saw Cats on Broadway.
Oh, I did too. I saw it in New York City. It was like
all I could stare at was the boys' bulges, though. Oh my goodness, that was indecent. What?
The last one I saw.
Memories for me. Yes, I remember that performance.
The last one I saw was Hamilton. Oh, stunning!
Oh, I wanted to see
stunning. Yeah, it was really.
I
good.
haven't even seen Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, I've seen that twice.
Many times, but the best Phantom of the Opera was at Westdale High School.
Oh.
Westdale High School, they have a theater kind of class that's for the whole city. If you want to take theater, you go there to do it. And so they had kids from all different high schools come to do it, and it was amazing. I actually cried in that one and never ever come close to it in a regular theater. It was now some of the singing wasn't that good, but some of it was fantastic. But it was amazing that these high school kids were able to pull that off the way that they did.
I don't know if they still do that program. They did it a few years ago. They did Into the Woods, and Anne was actually recruited to play piano for. They had some of the kids, I think, helping with some of it, but they needed a handful of, I won't say professional, but very good.
So this is all high school kids from
different
different
kids.
drama units or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And they put on a play, and they take the tickets, and they do the costumes, and they do the sets, and it's quite the production.
Yeah, you pay reasonable money for it too. I think it was like $40 or something for a ticket. Like it was.
Wow.
Yeah, I know someone, one of my former VON clients' sister was in it. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see that plays still, they are an experience, and when they try and make a movie out of it, sometimes it really suffers. But I think they did a really fairly good job of,
So do you think 12 Angry Men started as a play or as a?
He wrote it as a play, but it was televised on television. I don't know it was in the theaters as a play.
Well, I guess because it was in basically one room, that makes sense that it would be scripted like that. So yeah, I
It
could
was
see that.
called a teleplay. So I
Hmm.
don't know exactly what that means, but it's definitely easy to take that and put that on a stage because there's no flashbacks, there's no
Yeah, right.
action scenes except for the knife coming out. That's about the closest.
Yeah.
action.
The movie was a flop at the box office, but it did well like 15 years later. Then all of a sudden, people started seeing the value in that movie, and it started to make money, and then became not a cult classic, but revered as a good movie.
I wonder how the 1990s version went over.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing about it or thinking about it in the theaters or knowing that it was a big thing.
Yeah,
No.
I think one of the best concepts that it explored, though, is that it isn't easy to go against other people, the opinions of other people, and how hard that is. And I think one of my favorite movies that showed that was Harry Potter, when they were get awarded points and Gryffindor was going to lose, and they got enough to have points almost to beat Slytherin, but they're like tied or whatever. And so even though they did heroic and wonderful things, they didn't score. So enough, but they awarded points to Neville because he went against his friends and did what was right. And they said that's so very hard. So 5 points was awarded to him. And I think that was kind of cool that the
underdog wins.
Yeah, someone who really didn't do that much, it looks like, but it ends up being because going against what other people say is a hard thing, especially if it's about right.
Are you okay, Jen? You're coughing or sneezing, or what are you doing?
No, I'm trying to get over that pneumnia.
So but
It's been
when you're
2 months.
your head down,
I'm coughing.
coughing. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I can't hear it. That's
I'm-
why I couldn't tell if you're sneezing or coughing.
I'm trying to cover it, but
We can't what do you call it? Heimlich.
the Heimlich, that's not going to help.
Don't swallow that candy.
No.
Don't get
Menthol.
menthol.
No, this one doesn't have menthol.
I remember that, Jeff. Yeah, it was a year ago Christmas. I think you had the menthol poisoning. Oh dear. Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, a good choice, Jennifer.
Thank you.
So we've had two lawyery court, and so I thought it was interesting too. The defendant, I never heard of it. Like the actor, never saw him in anything else. I think okay, other stuff he's in, nothing.
I thought he was the guy from Karate Kid when I first saw him.
He didn't look like that.
What's that kid's name?
Which one are you talking about here?
Karate Kid, the defendant.
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph. I thought it was Ralph Macchio, and I thought, wait, no, that can't be. It was from the 50s. He's like a Hispanic-looking, Italian-looking, hard to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did have the idea of prejudice and describing as those people and them, and yeah, that was part of the conversation too. So just interesting.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick another lawyer film like?
No, I'm switching tactics.
Uh-oh. Which tactic are you taking?
Apocalypse Now.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Have never seen that.
Martin Sheen. I checked to make sure it was on MB.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
It should be. I haven't seen it either. I remember hearing about it. I remember it's a different sort of animosity between good and evil, those who are in charge that shouldn't be. I think it'll be a good
war, and how war is not
war.
It is.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
war is not what we see, which is just the gun shooting and the planes falling down.
Right. It's so political.
It's all that kind of stuff. Linda Carter was in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
And yeah, she was in it.
What was she wearing?
Her outfit. Remember the day? No, there's a scene where they, I guess, bring in people to entertain the troops, and so they have some kind of show they put on, and in the middle of the jungle, they're like in this jungle and river and stuff, and all of a sudden they, I guess, turn around the corner and there's a stage set up with lights going up, and they were showing how much work that was to try and make that happen, just to entertain the troops, just to keep them going and them liking the fact. So I don't even know if she made it to the final cut. I think she did, but it'd be hard to see her because it's just girls who are part of the, entertaining the troops kind of thing. And there maybe some singing and dancing going on the stage, and she's probably one of them. Like, I remember looking, but not for very much. I thought maybe she'd be a big part of it. She certainly wasn't a big part, but they might have also left her on the cutting room floor. But she was in the movie, she was there for it. And there was an issue about her being there for it. Like, she couldn't make it and then finally did. And it was like one of her first things, even though she ended up getting chopped off.
We're reviewing the next movie without having watched it.
I did see the movie like 30 years ago or 40 years ago, like a long, long time ago.
Yeah. And Jen, I like your choices too, because these are classics or well-known movies, and I don't think any of us have seen them before. I know I've seen Apocalypse Now, and so far so good. Wow,
It'll be a challenge, that movie, I think, because it's
it's hard.
I think it will be hard to watch, but I think those ones make you think, right?
Yeah.
Make you ponder things. Yeah.
No.
I didn't find a link in any of the actors or producers or directors or anything to say where it was going next. I put it in ChatGPT and said I want to not link them, but have like premises of thinking that you have to have a thought process during the movie, before the movie, during the movie, and after the movie, and whether that has changed when the movie's done.
Yeah, I think the movie does make you think about war differently, and what we're told war is, and what it ends up becoming is like like, I don't even know if you knew, but Vietnam was started on a false flag, which false flag is when you say you were attacked. And therefore, now we can go attack them because we were attacked first, and you weren't attacked first.
Oh.
World War II.
Miscommunication or
on purpose. No, false flags on purpose. In World War II, the Germans crossed into Poland, and they dressed up some of their people in Polish uniforms and crossed over and I guess went to a radio station and killed the people as Polish people, even though they were Germans, and then said, "Oh no, that I think they attacked themselves across the border by putting Germans in Polish outfits and made it look like." And it's funny because it's not like there's cameras around to prove it, but they still did all that. You know what I mean? Like, they actually dressed them up in Polish uniforms and had them attack the Germans in a fake way. And then,
and that was a Hitler move, or was that another commander move? Oh, it was a Hitler move.
Well, I mean, Hitler was in charge, so yeah, he would have been. They wanted it to happen, and and it's funny, we don't imagine World War II that Hitler wanted the world to accept what he's doing. But when you do a false flag, you're trying to say, world, accept this is a reasonable thing I'm doing. Of course, they put everybody on the border with Poland, all the armies there waiting, and then do the false flag. So they needed any excuse, so they had to make up one for themselves.
Sounds like something the current POTUS would actually do.
Well, but that's what they do. They did it in Vietnam. Vietnam was a false flag. There was an attack on a boat. If I said the name of it, you might have heard of it before. And they said that attack was by the North Vietnamese, and it wasn't. And that gave them the excuse to go in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that war isn't black and white. That's for sure. It's not what you, it's not the first glance.
No, so many things though aren't, right? Courts are not always what you think.
Right.
What else isn't what you think? So courts, war, politics isn't always what you think. It's like, okay, this person's trying to do good, and it's
saying one thing with one hand and something else is happening on the other that you don't want them to see. And
there's a lot of things on this planet that are, it's not quite what you think.
Yeah.
I mean, even in our own lives, we could look at things and realize that people didn't portray themselves as they were. You find out later, and like that, like a lot of that kind of stuff comes out in the wash where you hear stories, and we have in our own family stories from a couple of generations ago, things that went on that you look at, you go, oh my goodness.
Okay.
How did that happen? Yeah, I
Our
know.
family? That's not supposed to be our family.
But I think as I age, I have less tolerance for that. The grayness of people. The
Hypocrisy.
yeah, like I was not a very truthful kid. I told a lot of lies. I said a lot of things that were, a lot of it was dad's sarcasm. For things I took as truth, and I would share that with other people. Like, I don't know, he told me once my toe was infected and I was going to die. So I told people I was going to die, and I didn't show up in grade 7 or 8 or whatever it was. And they're like, Jen died from her toe. Why would I say that? Why would I say that? What is the point? And so when someone says something that's like, why would you even bother?
Well, there's always a reason for it. It's usually
No.
misguided, but there's like there's a thought behind. Okay, you're a people pleaser or whatever it is that.
I know. I
wanna
just
do.
have less tolerance for those people. Like, you're stringing me a line of BS, and I don't even want to finish this conversation, and I'm done.
Oh, I guess we're lucky she's still here, eh?
I didn't die. It was Erica Dahan that said in church to me, she said, "You're such a liar." And I was like, what? Hard? What are you talking about? She said, when you left in grade 7, you told us that you're going to die if your toenail fell off. And I'm like, I have no recollection of what you're talking about. And she said, then you never showed up for grade 8. We all thought you died. And I was like, what? Why would that? Why would I do
where
that?
did you go for grade 8? Where did you go for grade 8?
I went to Hampton Heights.
Did you? I didn't even know that.
I was there
I
for grade
begged for it.
7. Grade 7 for 2 months.
I begged for it. I wanted to go to public school, mostly because you and Doug were.
You know, I know. I when I went and sort of left
Crashed the barrier.
ACH, I made it acceptable for the rest of the family to make those kind of choices. So
Yeah.
you just
And I
did
think
it.
Mom was happy that she didn't have to pay for one more year of
Tuition.
private school
I think
with
so.
only one kid there.
As much as they didn't like us doing it, they loved us doing it.
You're welcome for your retirement, Mom.
Now give it back.
Yeah.
Thanks, some of it.
But you don't realize as a kid, the things that you say have impact on other people. But now I realize the things that I say as an adult have impact on people. And that's why you're more careful with your words, because, well, maybe because they hurt more as an adult, because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's the sermon for today. There's always a point where we go, okay, we're not talking about the movie anymore.
Wait. We haven't come up with Bewitched and Star
Yeah,
Trek.
John Fiedler was, I think, on Star Trek, and he was on Bewitched. So.
Oh, the little fellow with the glasses.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I believe he was in both of them.
Wait, juror number 11,
Squeaky
George Bosikovic,
Yeah.
was in episode The Ultimate Computer in 1968 on Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And Jack Klugman was in The Odd Couple that we watched.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
No, I
And-
didn't even know that. So that was a.
And Jack Warden, juror number 7, was also on Bewitched. And E.G. Marshall, juror number 4, was on the Brady Bunch.
You're talking, that one that you said was also on Bewitched. Was that the one with the guy who wore the hat and no tie, and he had this little sort of
No. Oh, that could be.
because he looked like he was from Bewitched.
It was juror number 7, whoever it was but and the other kind of tie with the what is it, 100th show of All in the Family, but it was hosted by Henry Fonda, and they did Edith is a juror episode. It's like, oh,
No way.
yeah, so there's all
That is
these-
cool.
Yeah.
Because I remember Henry Fonda more during the On Golden Pond time too.
Yeah.
with Wayne and-
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I think that was 1981, and that's right.
Was
I think
it really?
Yeah, I think it was 1981. That movie. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And Anita, when you mentioned about Henry Fonda and like the looking back on All in the Family, that's right. I forgot all about that. It's like Lucille Ball did a tribute to Three's Company too. I remember that.
Okay.
She talked
yeah.
about Jack Tripper and John Ritter and the characters, and then Jeff had mentioned about Janet Joyce DeWitt, right, singer. So yeah, we got a lot of connections on this
No way.
podcast. Yeah.
Hey, that John Fiedler guy, he was in The Odd Couple.
Yes, he was in The Odd Couple.
Yeah, the guy who was
The poker table?
Yeah.
Yes, he was one of the ones in the poker table. Yeah. He was
Oh.
also in Anita. He was also in Bad Ronald.
Yes, I think I saw that.
What is Bad Ronald?
Bad Ronald. I think on NB, did I see it?
No,
The
we
connection?
saw it when we lived in Case Your Center.
No, the fact of it. I
I
think I saw that. Yeah,
That
so
movie, I
Bad.
remember watching in Case Your Center when you and I were there.
Bad
Yeah,
Ronald. What is that? A
that
cartoon?
So what one is that? That is a Scott Jacoby, I think, starred as a guy who I might be getting them mixed up.
So he's
He's
got a mother.
He's got a mother who's overbearing.
Is this a TV show or a movie?
A movie.
Movie.
Back in Case Your Center. So I would have been in grade 3 or 4. And so this kid's got
Stone
a
Age.
kid's got a mother, and she's overbearing, and he's like fearful. And then he goes out and accidentally pushes a girl, and they were bullying him a bit. And he pushes her, she hits her head, and she dies.
Yeah.
So he comes back home and he goes, Mom, this happened. I can't believe it. So the police come to investigate. She hides him in a thing in the house inside a
Secret room.
cubbyhole
Secret
kind of
room.
thing. And it's in the walls of the house. He can go into the secret room, and now he's in the middle of the house in these walls. So she's got him there and keeps him there because she's so worried about the police coming to get him, because she knows he didn't do it on purpose, but they don't know that he's not going to get in trouble for it because she's a witchy kind of woman. She's not very nice. She ends up having appendix or something, and she has to go to the hospital. She goes and she dies in the hospital. He's left in the
In the
house,
house.
in the walls of the house. She then
He can get out, but he can't because it's too dangerous.
That's right. So he's there, and now he starts to go a little mental and stuff. And this a family buys the house with 2 daughters, and they are now living in the house.
And the eyeball peeks through the little
At the
crack.
very
in
end of the movie, the scariest thing happens is he's been watching the whole family, and they leave the house. He'll go in and raid the fridge and steal something, and of course you'll see the family come home. Where's that pastrami I put in there? Oh, you must have eaten it. I didn't eat it. I just put it in there. You ate it. You forgot. No, I didn't. And so then all these little things, the towel was moved and stuff, and the daughter had things missing. Well, he starts to collect things, and he thinks they're princesses, and he falls in love with one of the daughters, and he's living in the walls, and he's putting things on his walls. And he used to have these little holes in the walls, and he'd lift a piece of metal up and you peek through and watch them and then put it back down again. And one day he looks up and he goes, lets it go, and it doesn't fall down. And he goes on doing something, and the girls come home, and they come home, and the one girl sees a spot of light on the wall. And she's going, what is this doing on the wall? Puts her hand on it, and then and follows it back. And, it's a hole in the wall. I can see light through that. Like there's a hole with light on the other end. So she walks up to it and goes like this to put her eye, just as he on the other end goes, puts his eye up to the hole, and their eyes meet. I won't tell you what happens, but it's
Can we
out
get
there.
this movie?
It's there, MB.
It's there.
Yes, oh my God.
Ronald?
It was like, as kids, it scared the crapple out of us.
Every house I ever moved into, which was many since Case
Yeah.
Center, I looked at the walls to make sure there wasn't enough room to somebody to be living in there. Every house.
Oh, I'm looking it up right now. Bad
Wow.
Ronald.
Definitely.
Bad Ronald.
Now, I think it's actually probably pretty schmaltzy when it wasn't Oscar worthy, but it's still good. It's still scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
if you look at the picture that's on MB, it shows a guy with blood all over his face and blood on the wall. Looks like a horror movie.
It's not a happy joke.
It's a bit of a light horror movie, but very
It
light.
says drama,
Yeah.
but it got 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. I almost said Rotten Potatoes.
So I think the thing that clinched it for me is that he had a toilet in that hidden room, and I thought, okay, that makes sense. He couldn't flush it all the time, I guess, or whatever. But it's like, if you don't have a toilet, then that's not real. Like I never liked things like, I never liked Little House on the Prairie, because they never, you didn't see them coming out of the outhouse. And they
I can see that.
It's just like, this doesn't feel legit enough. But it's like, okay, no, there was a toilet and a sink there for him. But yeah, and this creepy mother thing, and
Oh my God.
yeah, watch that when you're spending time alone in the house.
Oh,
You measure your walls and you go, that's 12 feet, that's 8 feet, but it's 25 feet across. Where's the 5 feet?
I didn't see what year is it?
74.
70s, yeah.
Oh, no way.
And it was Scott Jacoby. I had, I won't say crush, but I thought he was a cute boy at the time.
Well,
But
on the
like
picture on
Robbie
MB, he doesn't look so cute with
No,
blood splattered.
no,
He looks like a young Howard Stern.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, okay, I could see that.
I used to have a bit of a crush on Robbie Benson. He was my favorite.
Yes, I remember. I remember Anita, all her favorites, Tony DeFranco and
Did we
Yeah.
have television way back then in the Stone Age when
We
you were
didn't have
watching
cable.
in the
We didn't
74?
have- Not cable though.
just an antenna, and we got a few channels. And
Did we ever get cable until we all left the house?
No, we did at one point. And like Dad was a cable person, so
No.
it's like we didn't have cable.
for very much of Upper Ottawa.
No,
No, very, very rare that we had cable. It's funny how we knew so much about TV and watched so many programs and watched every Carol Burnett, watched Walt Disney on Sunday nights, and
But
yet we
I
had
would
this channel.
say we didn't watch a lot of TV.
we were latchkey kids. So the minute we came home,
Right.
until we ate
Oh,
supper, we
true.
were watching.
Yeah.
We were watching. Jeff made me watch Hogan's Heroes. Because
Mm-hmm.
I said I will not watch it because I don't want to watch a war movie. He says, no, but it's funny. It's like,
And I watched
okay.
Smash.
We
I like
watched-
Smash.
That wasn't on after school. What did we watch? We watched The Monkees.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Probably in
gosh.
the Partridge
Yes.
Family, probably.
And what I watched was Gilligan's Island and the Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch and
Yeah.
Gilligan's
Yep.
Island. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly saw them.
Yeah. So we didn't see them in the first run. Probably Star Trek as well. That was a primetime show that we never watched it in primetime, but we did catch it in the reruns.
Well, what kept us as 4 children instead of 3 or 2 was the fact that we had 2 TVs in the house, one in Mom and Dad's bedroom and then one downstairs.
Yeah.
So if we'd have only had one TV, I'm sure at least one of us would have made it.
But
I
what?
do remember you
We would be
whipping
dead.
that converter out of my hand, and I was watching something, and Jeff would come down and he'd just rip it out and then sit down on the couch and watch something. And I'd be like, he's so mean.
Such a bully to her.
She's such a bully.
Oh.
And I do love you now, but
Jeff
it's so
drove me
hard
crazy too.
sometimes, Jeff.
But
The
so
nightmares.
when I taught Home with the Heart, I was teaching single moms, and when I talked to them about their kids and the kids getting along, I said, if your kids don't get along, I'll just tell you a few things my brother did, and I will tell you that I love him now. I love him to pieces. And so your children too, even though they're at each other's throats, it's possible that they will be, friends as adults. So
That's
just
right. Years
hang in
from
there.
now,
Hang in
it
there.
could change.
it could. If
It's
I can love
possible.
my brother, it's
Not
possible.
probable, but it's possible.
Miracle.
That's right. Praise the Lord.
Thank God Jeff found Jesus.
That's right.
And I lost him again. Where'd I put him? Where'd I
That's
put him?
okay. That's okay. We still love you. Now. No thanks to you.
This is almost an hour. Goodness. Well, we have so gone off topic.
Oh,
Although it's sort
100
of about
times.
entertainment and movie kind of
Stacey
things.
just has to watch us go through this family dynamic drama as she has to hear us talk about like our difficulties and
I'm
hating.
sure Stacey's like, I'm
it's
so glad
interesting
I'm
though.
not
I,
part of them."
the family dynamics and everything, I think is really cool.
And yet, to be honest, I don't recall being together as siblings. I think maybe because Anita and I were so far apart in age.
8 years.
But like Jeff and Doug and I never hung out or played, or Anita and I didn't. So
we slept
our
in the
family
same bed, though.
dynamic was very different than when I like Paul and his sisters. They were 2 years apart. They did everything together.
Yeah.
And it's just such a weird dynamic for me.
Doug and I did stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the only family part that kept unity.
Yeah.
We wrestled and played Lego and,
Did stuff. Yeah.
But we really didn't. I mean, maybe swim.
I taught Doug to smoke. Good stuff. I still remember the funniest line. Anita taught me to smoke, by the way, just so everybody
Probably.
gets this.
Probably.
She taught me to smoke, and then I'm smoking. I'm in grade 8, and Doug's in grade 4. And I remember walking. I was walking down Upper Ottawa from the Bantam store to home, and I'm walking with Doug. And I said, "Have you ever smoked a cigarette?" And Doug goes, "No." And I go, "Are you kidding me, Doug? Are you? Well, how could you not have had it?" And I'm thinking, he's grade 4. I'm teasing him.
Have you played with a Tonka truck yet?
No.
Buying a cigarette by now. That's
Dad used to smoke though, so that the fact that you'd try a puff or something like that, just like I'm sure I had coffee before, but I've never had a coffee in my life, but I'm sure I sipped it
Enough to know that you don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, we've
I
been
can't believe Jeff, you told him in grade 4.
Oh.
Such a
I'm
thing.
not a cigarette. I'm bullying him into smoking in grade 4, but not by saying you need to smoke, but by pretending that it's obvious he should have smoked. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that was
Cigars even.
I'm so far behind with my friends. What's going on?
They're gonna hate me because I don't smoke.
Hang around with smokers, Doug. You'll be better off if you do.
You'll be a better human.
I always wanted to smoke the weird cigarettes, like Vantage and Parliaments, and those little cigarello things, are the cigars that were in size of a cigarette, but they were
Or
like,
what is the holder one that makes it longer, or the filter tip or something?
Well,
You keep it in your pocket.
No, I didn't have one of those, but I mean, I just did it because I wanted to be like.
Did you have a pocket holder in high school?
No.
You know, the
Pocket
little
protector
pocket protector.
with the pins.
I was cool in high school in Barton, not in HCCH.
Yeah, I
I was a
refuse.
nerdy nerd in HCCH, but I was.
I know.
pretty-
I'd heard all about you when I joined a few years later about your dancing antics on whatever Wednesday night or whatever, because you'd wear those electrical shirts that you designed.
Yeah, university. Yeah.
No, you did something in high school for, I don't know, maybe it was Halloween or something.
And when I put the LEDs in the collar, that was in university.
Was that in university?
Yeah. In fact, if you type Jeff Eleveld and Steve Mann into Google, you'll come up with an article he wrote where he credits me with
Cyberman.
yeah, starting the idea of putting technology into clothing. Because I did that first, and then he did a VU meter, or remember the meter on the tape deck that would go up, go higher
Voltage, yeah.
So he put LEDs across his chest, and as you talked near him, the lights would go up and down. So that's what his was when he's out at a bar. I mean, he was nerdier than me by far. But I had it going around the neck, and somebody at Ballinger's, one of the bartenders, I made a shirt for him. I still have the shirt. It's got some solder burns on it and stuff. But like, I still actually have that shirt.
Where's Steve Mann now?
Oh, he became famous. He's a professor at University of Toronto. There's a movie on MB called Cyberman. It's about his Steve, and I'm in the movie.
No way.
Go to IMDb and type in Jeff Eleveld, and you see me.
I'm going to MB right now and getting Spider-Man, and it'll be on our list of things to
Watch one day.
Oh, watch that in your own time.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
2002.
there you go.
I favorited it.
Yeah.
And we've been talking so long that I wish I had a refreshing beverage. Oh, why? Here I have President's Choice Cola.
Oh,
That.
like
Our
and
new sponsor.
subscribe.
They might be our new sponsor because I really enjoy
it's
their
very
beverages.
refreshing cola. Yes.
It is.
I should play
Pearl
when I did
Vision
my-
glasses.
When I did my TV show, Anita, I
Pearl
also
Vision.
pulled up a cola and like RC Cola and went, and our sponsor today is RC Cola, making it up. The same.
And Ricolo cough drops for
That's right.
pneumonia.
Wow.
Oh, we could have so many sponsors. I'll keep
Oh,
coughing. It's
yeah.
only been 3 months. No problem.
There you go.
I have that somebody would.
All right. So Apocalypse Now for everybody's school.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, in the meantime, I'm going to watch the second.
The second
The-
one, I know
the
it's on
jur-
my
the
list.
jury,
I'm
the
going to go on
12
the
men.
treadmill. I'm not going to walk back and forth in my basement, but I'm going to go on a little treadmill.
Aw,
Well, I have Envy on my phone now, so I can watch it.
Oh, there you
If
go.
if I can't sleep. So
Don't walk into walls.
no.
all right.
Okay, that's it for the month.
All right.
Okay. Well, we will see you
February down.
Good choice,
next
Jen.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
See you all next month.
Bye.
Bye.